Elon Musk strikes deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion. The board of Twitter has agreed to a $44 billion, £34.5 billion, takeover offer from the billionaire Elon Musk. Mr. Musk, who made the shock bid less than 2 weeks ago, said Twitter had tremendous potential that he would unlock. He also called for a series of changes, from relaxing its content restrictions to eradicating fake accounts. The firm initially rebuffed Mr. Musk's bid, but it will now ask shareholders to vote to approve the deal. Mr. Musk is the world's richest person, according to Forbes magazine, with an estimated net worth of $273.6 billion, mostly due to his shareholding in electric vehicle maker Tesla, which he runs. He also leads the aerospace firm SpaceX. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, Mr. Musk said in a statement announcing the deal. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans, he added. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. The move comes as Twitter faces growing pressure from politicians and regulators over the content that appears on its platform. It has drawn critics from left and right over its efforts to mediate misinformation on the platform. In one of its most high-profile moves, last year it banned former U.S. President Donald Trump, perhaps its most powerful user, citing the risk of incitement of violence. At the time, Mr. Musk observed, "A lot of people are going to be super unhappy with West Coast high tech as the de facto arbiter of free speech." News of the takeover has been cheered by the right in the U.S., although Mr. Trump on Monday told Fox News he had no plans to rejoin the platform. The White House declined to comment on the takeover, but spokesperson Jen Psaki told reporters, "No matter who owns or runs Twitter, the president has long been concerned about the power of large social media platforms." On Twitter, MP Julian Knight, chairman of the UK's Digital, Culture, Media, and Sport Committee, called the deal an extraordinary development in the world of social media. It will be interesting to see how a privately owned Twitter, run by a man who is an absolutist over free speech, will react to global moves to regulate. BBC environment analyst Roger Harabin says scientists are nervous about the potential impact of the takeover on the climate debate. He notes that Twitter announced last week it would ban advertisements that deny the scientific consensus on the climate crisis, with the firm admitting that misleading information can undermine efforts to protect the planet. Controversial history. Mr. Musk, who has more than 80 million followers on Twitter, has a controversial history on the platform himself. In 2018, U.S. financial regulators accused him of misleading Tesla investors with his tweets, claims that were resolved in a $40 million settlement, and that Mr. Musk continues to deny. And in 2019 he was hit with a defamation suit, which he successfully defeated, after calling a diver involved in rescuing schoolboys in Thailand pedo guy on the platform. On Monday, Mr. Musk, who has been known to clash with journalists and block critics, suggested that he saw Twitter as a forum for debate. "I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter, because that is what free speech means," he wrote just hours before the deal was announced. Can Musk turn Twitter around? As part of the takeover, which is expected to close later this year, Twitter's shares will be delisted and it will be taken private. Mr. Musk has suggested this will give him freedom to make the changes he wants to the business. Among other ideas, he has suggested allowing longer posts and introducing the ability to edit them after they have been published. Twitter shares on Monday closed more than 5% higher after the deal was announced. But the price remained lower than Mr. Musk's $54.20 per share offer, a sign that Wall Street believes he is overpaying for the firm. Mr. Musk has said he doesn't care about the economics of the purchase. However, he will take on a company with a checkered record of financial performance. Despite its influence, Twitter has rarely turned a profit, and user growth, particularly in the US, has slowed. The company, founded in 2004, ended 2021 with $5 billion in revenue and 217 million daily users globally, a fraction of the figures claimed by other platforms such as Facebook. Brett Taylor, chair of Twitter's board, said it had fully assessed Mr. Musk's offer and it was the best path forward for Twitter's stockholders. It is not clear who will lead the company moving forward. Twitter is currently led by Parag Agrawal, who took over from co-founder and former boss Jack Dorsey last November. But in his offer document, Mr. Musk told Twitter's board, "I don't have confidence in management." Mr. Agarwal told employees on Monday that the future of Twitter is uncertain. "Once the deal closes, we don't know which direction the platform will go," he said, according to the Reuters news agency. Shareholder vote. Mr. Musk's targeting of Twitter has moved at remarkable speed. It emerged at the beginning of April that he had become the largest shareholder in the firm with a 9.2% stake. He was then invited to join Twitter's board but turned down the offer before launching a surprise bid for the company on 14 April, saying he wanted to unlock its potential as a bastion of freedom of speech. Twitter tried to fend off his bid, threatening to dilute the shareholdings of anyone who bought more than a 15% stake in the firm. However, its stance shifted after Mr. Musk revealed more financial details about his proposed bid. He has secured $25.5 billion of financing for the deal and will take a $21 billion stake in the business. The board unanimously approved the bid, which will now be presented to shareholders for a vote. The speed this move has happened had many heads in Silicon Valley spinning. From nowhere, Elon Musk is the absolute monarch of Twitter. He himself has said it's not about the economics, this is about power and influence. By taking the company private, he will exercise total control over Twitter. He has the power to do with the company as he pleases. In practice, that will mean a much lighter moderation policy. He also says that he will make its algorithm public, so that people can better understand how Twitter works. The move leaves the door open to Donald Trump's return to the platform, though he apparently says he would rather use his own social media platform Truth Social for now. For years, conservatives have argued that Twitter is biased against them, and the news has left Republicans in the U.S. delighted. Others have been left dismayed at what Twitter might look like without strong platform moderation. You only need to look at how much criticism Facebook has received for not taking down groups linked to the QAnon conspiracy theory, or the Stop the Steal movement to imagine how much criticism Elon Musk is in store for. The danger that Twitter now faces is that unfettered free speech on social media can become very ugly, very quickly. Elon Musk fires Twitter employees who criticized him. Mr. Musk, who is rapidly transforming the social media company, also has cut its contractor workforce. San Francisco, Elon Musk continued cutting Twitter's workforce in his third week of owning the social media company, firing employees who had criticized him and eliminating contractors. Early on Tuesday, Mr. Musk's team ordered nearly 24 Twitter employees who had pushed back publicly and privately against him to be fired, 3 people with knowledge of the matter said. The billionaire, who completed a $44 billion acquisition of Twitter last month, later confirmed the exits on the platform and mocked the former employees. The firings followed cuts to Twitter's contract workforce over the weekend. Many of the contractors work on content moderation and data science and were let go without notice, 5 people familiar with the matter said. Mr. Musk has moved quickly to transform Twitter as he has painted a grim picture of its finances. He laid off half the company's 7,500 workers this month, while pushing remaining employees to quickly build and launch new products. Last week, he said Twitter faced the possibility of bankruptcy and needed to become more hardcore to survive. Mr. Musk plans to reorganize the company to eliminate middle managers, 6 people familiar with the matter said. At the same time, Mr. Musk has sought to keep Twitter's staff motivated. On Monday, he sent employees a brief message, which was viewed by the New York Times, explaining that exceptional amounts of stock would be awarded for exceptional performance. Mr. Musk likened the structure to how things worked at SpaceX, his private rocket manufacturer, but provided no further details. Twitter has been under financial pressure as some advertisers have backed away from it. Macy's has paused its advertising spending on the platform, a person familiar with the decision said. The fashion company Balenciaga deleted its Twitter account. And Omnicom Media Group, whose agencies represent companies such as PepsiCo and McDonald's, urged its clients to halt their activity on Twitter in a memo citing risks that have risen sharply to a level most would find unacceptable, a person familiar with the memo said. Twitter and Mr. Musk did not respond to requests for comment. The platformer newsletter earlier reported the contractor cuts. Mr. Musk's firings followed a tweet, posted on Sunday, in which he wrote that Twitter was super slow in many countries because of the way it handled data. "This is wrong," Eric Fraunhofer, a Twitter developer, responded. Mr. Musk invited Mr. Fraunhofer to correct the mistake, and the two exchanged several messages. Then on Monday, Mr. Musk tweeted that Mr. Fraunhofer was fired. He later deleted the tweet. Mr. Fraunhofer did not respond to a request for comment. Mr. Musk's team was asked to comb through messages in Twitter's internal chat platform and make a list of employees who were insubordinate, people briefed on the plan said. They also sorted through employees' tweets, looking for criticism. Those deemed rule breakers received emails around 1:30 a.m. Pacific Time on Tuesday, notifying them that they were fired, according to emails viewed by The Times. Several Twitter employees who shared news of Mr. Fraunhofer's firing in internal chats were cut, said 6 people familiar with events. They were told that they had been terminated for violating company policy, according to emails seen by The Times. "I would like to apologize for firing these geniuses," Mr. Musk tweeted sarcastically on Tuesday. "Their immense talent will no doubt be of great use elsewhere." In another tweet, he mocked a former employee, suggesting the person's Twitter posts about him were caused by a tragic case of adult-onset Tourette's. Melissa Engel, a data science contractor who worked on tracking political misinformation, said she had not been informed of layoffs but lost access to her Twitter email and internal systems on Saturday afternoon. Hours later, her contracting management company, Magnet, notified her that Twitter was conducting a reprioritization and saving exercise and that her last day would be Monday, according to an email seen by The Times. "As a contractor, I don't get severance," Ms. Engel said. "I'm scared I won't be able to pay rent or provide for my kids." Magnet did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Some employees are concerned that they will not be reimbursed for work-related expense reports that they filed before the mass layoffs, 2 people familiar with the issue said. Some have accumulated thousands of dollars in expenses that have not been paid out, while others have been told that expenses that were not approved by human resources managers before the mass layoffs will not be paid back. Remaining Twitter employees have been bracing for a company-wide reorganization, which could come before the end of the week, 6 people said. During the layoffs, Mr. Musk eliminated many managers, creating a flatter structure. In his first meeting with employees, on Thursday, Mr. Musk said design, program management and engineering would report directly to him, according to a recording heard by The Times.